And good afternoon, everybody. How are we all diddly doing? Hope you're all safe and well. Okay, it looks all right. Opposite side, but I can live with it, I suppose. Not the end of the world. Hey up, Cody. How you doing? Nice to see you, you chub. How you diddly doing? So I'll just wait for a few people to get in before I start chubbing and giving it large, of course. Well, you can all see it on the screen. If anybody does want to join me, you'd be most welcome. There we go. Anybody wants to join me, they're very welcome. They can join live. I really could do with this window being on another screen, but hey, it's what it is. I'll just have to keep my eyes on it. Yeah, I'm very, very well, thank you, Cody. Awesome, in fact, dude. Awesome. So I've got a lot to cover tonight. I wasn't expecting anybody to turn up, to be honest. But anyway, I feel honoured, especially as it's a brand new channel. This might gain a bit of traction in the future. Who knows? We'll just have to see. But I do want to share what I've been doing with the YouTube, clear a few things up, and cover a few topics some of you may or may not find of interest. So just to cover the first topic, it's now 2 weeks on my Peppermint distro for life. So this is Peppermint OS 11, bit of a different iteration to the previous love of my life, which was, of course, OS 10. So why did I make a new channel? So because the other channel was partnered with YouTube, and YouTube would not let me unpartner from it. So I have to wait until July this year, not sign and agree to their new agreement, and then they'll close the channel and kick me out. So I've created a brand new channel, which is 100% free and starting from scratch. It also gave me an opportunity to kind of restart the whole thing as just a hobby. And as I say, if you go ahead, use your ad blockers, no scripts, whatever you like, it doesn't matter. Because the channel is free and I won't make an absolute single penny off of it. That's not the point of it. The point of it really is for my own personal satisfaction, just sharing stuff with you all, just in case I share stuff that you might not have known about, give you some hints, tips, and also share my experience over the coming weeks, months, and years on Peppermint OS 11. So hopefully that clears that up for you. As I say, this is Peppermint OS 11, built based off of Debian. A little bit different to the previous Peppermint OS 10, which was built and based off Ubuntu. So really, I guess while we're waiting for people to come in, the first thing I wanted to talk about is I was thinking how I could make Peppermint, excuse me, Peppermint, excuse me, rock solid and stable for the future. And I was just doing a little bit of research on Linux operating systems, and something I learned that I didn't know that you lot may know. Debian and Ubuntu are two unique distribution bases. In that, to the best of my knowledge, they are the only distributions which have their security updates in a separate repo. How cool is that? So I thought, well, for longevity, wouldn't it be pretty cool if I could disable updating from all repos except the security one? So guess what I did? I went ahead and disabled all the Debian repos except the separate security one. How cool is that? So obviously my packages on this system are already very, very stable. So unless there's a very good reason or requirement to upgrade all your system packages, which sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. So I decided, well, let's have a go. So now when I run my updates, the only thing it's going to look at is the security repository. And there you go. Everything's up to date. I think that's pretty cool. And it's already running super quick and super rock solid. So why would I want to bring down gazillions of new packages? It would make no sense really. So if you didn't know, if you're on Ubuntu or Debian, they're the only two distro bases which have separate security repos. How cool is that? So you can forget worrying about bringing a gazillion packages down. Just bring your security updates down. You're done. But I believe you can only do it on Ubuntu and Debian because security updates are lumped in with all other update repos on other build bases. Okay, so I thought that was a little bit of an interesting share for anybody that watches this back as a video. Very interesting. It doesn't show everything. I was hoping it would do. Let me just try something else very quickly in another tab. There we go. Okay, that's what I was after. Hey up, old Joe. How you doing, my ludge? Lovely to see you. Hope you're safe and well. I was discussing this week again, Aljo, with another lady that I picked up from who lived in South Africa, who's now moved here, and she was saying she was from Durban, and she said the electricity problem is just horrendous. Hey up, Bexy, lovely to see you, chicken. Yeah, absolutely, Cody. So we'll see how we get on with it, but very, very happy and impressed with it. Now, if that's not impressive enough, the other thing that I'm really impressed with myself is I'm running this on an AMD ATI R460 2 GB graphics card. Now, oh, thank you, Aljo. That's very kind and much appreciated, Poppet. So you might all be sitting there saying, you cheapskate, why don't you put a decent graphics card in it? Well, reason number one, I don't need to, because believe it or not, 2 gig is plenty. And reason number two, in these days of really expensive electricity prices, the less electric you use, the better it is. And this little lady, Raiden, is absolutely blowing me away. The other thing I'd like to state is that this is really my first ever true all AMD Linux experience. I've always been AMD on the processor or Intel and Nvidia on the graphics card. And I've always had a checkered history with Linux on the desktop because inevitably Nvidia ends up screwing up totally the desktop Linux operating system. However, with now going pure AMD for both the graphics card and the processor, of course, all that is inbuilt and baked into the kernel. So I literally need to do nothing. And it's been an utter revelation. It's been such a wonderful desktop experience. Hey up, Michael. Hey up, Dave. Lovely to see you all. Thank you, everybody, for your support. I didn't expect anybody to turn up, to be honest. Because it's going to get a while for the channel to get known, especially as it's a free channel. It's certainly not going to get pushed by YouTube anytime soon, that's for sure. You could switch all your programs to Flatpak and have Flatpak update the programs and Debian security update the distro only. You absolutely could, and that's a great point, Lamer, and I'm glad you brought it up, because Ali very kindly built me a minimal PC Linux OS ISO, and I installed it onto this PC onto its own SSD, and that's exactly what I did. So I've just got the base PC Linux OS, all the apps are Flatpak. You're in a very, very good place indeed. Very good place. So yeah, that's a great shout if you want to keep your apps all up to date, bang up to date. Of course, I have the option, because my apps are installed via repos, I can just enable the repos when I want to update and then disable them until the next time I want to update the apps. Works for me, just saying. So you got the best of all worlds. It's really been a very, very cool, interesting experience, because Peppermint, like PC Linux OS Ali Edition, is a very minimal, bloat-free distribution in that it comes with nothing. You add in what you want, you're done. And I've got to be honest, I'm really having a great time personally on the Peppermint. I just want to make this crystal clear. Do I recommend anybody else go ahead and use it? Absolutely 100% not. You have to use what works for you, whether that's Windows, Linux, Mac, FreeBSD, Unix, whatever. Use what works for you. But I'm just sharing my experience over the coming weeks, months, and years of how we get on with the Peppermint. Hey up, Metal, lovely to see you. Right, I need to do some bits and pieces, so do bear with me while I've got you all here. Just bear with me a second. There we go. That's everybody should now be moderators on the channel, I hope. You're using both Windows 11 and Endeavour OS. Good for you, Cody. Well, you need to just keep on enjoying it. At the end of the day, do what works for you. I'm done ever recommending anything to anybody, because I think it's very much a personal thing, a personal choice that you guys and girls need to make. And it's not for me to suggest you do this or do that. But all I will say is I'm having a fantastic time on the Peppermint OS 11, which actually did shock me quite a bit, because I think the last time I tried Peppermint, it was pretty woeful, to be honest. But yeah, so far, this new iteration, absolutely fantastic. So you can see the speed with which it's running. Your stream should be in 720p. I'm not even bothering using OBS, just using StreamYard. It's good enough. Is the audio okay, everybody? Can you just give me an audio check? Because I'm talking away, and none of you might be able to hear a thing I'm saying. Just saying. Thank you, Bexy. For a new person, I would suggest a simple distro but experienced user, let them choose. Yes. Horses for courses. Lame Cody. Eljo. Thank you, Eljo. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Dave. So just in case you missed that little snippet, if you really do want to give your Linux distro stability and longevity, you can only do this on a Debian or a Ubuntu base, because these are the only two bases that have their security repos separate to all the other repos. So all I've done is disabled all repos, and I'm only pulling down security updates. And then perhaps once a month, I'll go back in and re-enable all these, do a nice big update, bring them down, update it, reboot it, and then disable these repos and just go back to security. I just thought that was a real cool way of keeping an already really super stable set of packages unfettered with. Oh, pleasure, Bex. You're all welcome. You should all have spanners now. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover. So I don't think there's any downside to doing that other than if I forget to update. Well, some of my apps might become outdated, but look, we're on a Debian base anyway, so we're never going to have bleeding edge applications. Simple as that. What else? Well, I'm happy to report that both OBS Studio and Simple Screen Recorder are working beautifully with this little 2GB AMD graphics card. So much so that I'm going to go ahead and for my birthday, I'm going to buy an 8GB AMD Radeon. I'm also going to get a brand new PC, put the new Radeon in the PC, and I'm going to install my beloved Peppermint on it. So I'm going to go Linux only. That'll be interesting. What about you gaming? Well, I have got a Warframe video series running, but at the minute, the new love of my life, and this might send the stream really naff. If it does, I apologise, but we've only got a 2GB graphics card to work with here. The absolute love of my life at the minute is, of course, Farm Simulator. And again, you might not be able to see this on your screen in the quality because I'm running it on 1080p. You're watching this back in 720p. But it's absolutely fantastic on the little AMD Radeon. Now, also bear in mind this PC's only got 8GB of RAM in it. And it's got a 1600AF 6-core 12-thread processor. The new PC is going to have 32GB of RAM in it, so it should be a whole butt ton easier. But I mean, just look at the quality of this. Look, and I don't think you guys and girls can see it, to be fair, which is a shame. But it's stunning. It's cleaner. It's sharper. And this is on a 2GB graphics card. Now, okay, this is an older game. I get it. It's an older game. But damn, this is value for money in times of austerity. Just saying. So I've literally got the best of all worlds right underneath my fingertips. So there you go. That's the other thing I just wanted to share with you. So I'm just going to save that away. And I'm surprised that it's running so well on StreamYard. Normally, StreamYard and gaming do not play well together whatsoever. But again, I don't know if that's an NVIDIA versus AMD thing. Because as I'm saying, I'm having such a fantastic time on AMD. I really genuinely am. It's blowing me the hell away. So can I just ask the chat, those of you that are in, what have you guys and girls been up to this week? Are you still on the Guild Wars 2, Eljo? I know Bexy, she's still on the Farm Sim. Metal's got some great tracks out. Michael's having fun with the new steering wheel he's bought, I believe. I'm not sure what Dave's doing other than watching old movies. But just let me know in the chat. What have you all been up to this week? What have I missed? Don't forget, I am live on the Discord every day on a daily basis. So if you do want to catch up, you're very, very welcome to come and hunt me out. Hell, one day we may even get Craig Lilly on there. Wouldn't that be a thing? Eh? Wouldn't that be a thing if Michael actually sticks his big fat work boot up Craig's backside, gets him a mic, he could come and hang out on the Discord. That would be a cool thing. So come on, you lot, type in the chat. I'm waiting, just saying. What have you all been up to? Eljo, yes, been playing Guild Wars 2 for the while week, working and studying. Good for you, Eljo. Good for you. I'm starting to think Craig isn't real. Love it, Bex. Great shout. Michael, you might want to show Craig that, just saying. Been playing Guild Wars 2 for the whole week. All right, cool. Well, I'm really thrilled you're enjoying it, Elge. Thanks for letting us know, chicken. That's fantastic. Well, I'm just lost in the farm sim. I think I've lost my train of thought now because I just got a Warframe notification off a video I did, which is very cool. Excuse me. Doing taxes. Oh, right, you've got your tax session on, Dave. Well, I hope to see you back on the farming toot sweet, Dave. Get them taxes done. Get your finger out. Man up. Don't forget to give Mrs. D a bit of a hug and get your arse on the farm sim. Working and farming for Bex. Well, I guess that's about the best I'm going to do. Okay, so next topic. Something else that's blown my socks off. And I don't know if you got, by the way, this is the Warframe. This is just a video series. There's a new video upload every day except Saturday, Sunday. So Monday through to Friday, there'll be a new Warframe video for you to watch at 6 a.m. every day. I thought that would be a nice little addition to the tube that's just a video only thing. So fill your boots if that interests you. If it doesn't, well, give it a wide berth. So the other thing that's been blowing me away this week is, of course, Chat GPT. Have any of you had a chance to have a go with Chat GPT? Thank you, Bexy. That's very, very kind, chick. And much appreciated. This is what's causing all the furore out on the internet. This is also what's guilty of pinching all the bandwidth. The thing is with Chat GPT, which is self-learning, self-aware, if you like, AI, you can be an absolute expert in anything. I know it's pretty much blown Silent Robot away. It kicked his chuddies hard and he was delighted with it. I hope you all get a chance to have a play with it and enjoy it, and you can become literally an expert on anything in seconds. And it's pretty scary as to what it can do. So let's go ahead. I've done 3 videos on this YouTube, and I'm not going to do any more, that were created purely with AI apps, including ChatGPT. So let's do write a script about Linux on a quantum computer. There you go. Let's see what it comes up with for us. I mean, this is so mind-blowingly good. It's unbelievable. So it's now going to go through and create a full script for me using factual information, allegedly, on this topic. I can then, once it's finished, take this whole script, paste it into another AI video creator, and it'll automatically create the video for me, and it will automatically add voiceovers and everything else. It's just mind-blowing. So now the latest thing on YouTube is there's a whole raft of YouTube channels being put up, making their creators an awful lot of money just by using Chat GPT to create video scripts for them, which they can then go ahead and create the whole video automatically with virtually no input from the content creator. I think it's very, very cool, but I also think it's incredibly dangerous. I really, really do. Okay, so let's take this script here that it's created. We've not really had a look at it yet. Let's copy that script. Let's bring up Microsoft Edge. Yeah, I know. And let's go to something like Pictory. I hope you're all watching this because this is mind-numbing. Let's click on Proceed. Let's go and paste that script that ChatGPT created for us. A group of scientists are gathered around a large computer. One of them is Joe. Joe, is typing on a keyboard pointing to the screen. We don't need Joe on there, so we can edit that. So, as you can see, I've successfully installed Linux on this quantum computer. This is a huge step for us. We don't need scientist on there. How did you manage that? We don't need Joe on there. Now, this has all been completely done by AI. I've not done any of this. It's just mind-blowing. And this is how good AI is now. Can you imagine how good this is going to be in 5 or 10 years' time? It's going to be, and this leads me to the issue that I have with it, because at the moment, all the content on the internet is made by human beings. But in 12, 18 months' time, it's going to become really difficult as AI just gets better to differentiate the difference between human-made content and AI content. Okay, so there we go. So we've got spell check on, so we should be good. So let's click proceed. And now we need to choose a video theme. It doesn't really matter which one it is. Let's choose bricks. We want it 16:9. And now it's going to say to us, okay, so I'm going to create the video storyboard for you. I think this is absolutely mind-numbingly good. Hey up, Robbie. Lovely to see you. Let me just give you a spanner, Robbie. Thank you very much for joining. Much appreciated. There you go, old Robbie. And this is the other thing that I really want to do with my Peppermint Linux, which is start and explore apps and technologies and various different areas of computing. Everything from coding to all sorts of applications. Anyway, I digress. So here we go. So it's now gone ahead and created for us a full video storyboard. We just need to check that it looks about right, and it looks pretty darn good to me. So let's go to audio. And let's go to voiceover. And let's go to favorite. Oh yeah, I'll use Brian. So let's use Brian. Okay, so Brian's now applied. He's now going to read all of this text that appears on the screen. So as you can see, it's taken me a couple of minutes to do all of this. Right. So let's left click generate and video. And now it's going to create the video for us. Yeah, you're welcome, Robbie. Pleasure. Now, please bear in mind, I am doing all this with absolute zero effort. If you put a little tiny bit of effort into it, you can have a billion% better video than what I'm going to create here. However, all I'm trying to do is demonstrate to you just how powerful. Oh, you have reached the video limit of your current free trial. Please upgrade. Oh, well, that's a shitter, isn't it? English Bob. Let me see the plans. Oh, well, that's a shitter. Let me just think. Okay. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world, people. So anyway, you let it go ahead and create the video for you, and then you download the video. Okay. All from well, this all began with ChatGPT and me putting or asking ChatGPT to create a script on a specific subject. So what do you end up with? Well, that's why I had to think about it then, because that's videos I've created. That's interesting. Not there neither. Well, basically, what do you end up with? You end up with a video that you can upload to YouTube in 720 or 1080p. Let me just go to videos and I'll show you the sort of thing. There you go. The end of working life as we know it. So this is an example of the quality of video that whole layout process will create for you. I mean, how cool is this, really? It's devastating. Okay, so you don't need to watch it all. The whole point is I could create a quite nice money-making YouTube with no personality or personal intervention of myself, just using completely AI. And this is some of the ways people are going to use AI to make millions and millions of dollars or pounds or euros. I happen to think it's very cool on the one side, but I also happen to think it's scary as hell on the other, because I can see people's jobs disappearing because of this. You know, Chat GPT is in its infancy and it's already so advanced on things like coding. I can see coders being out of work overnight. You don't need a coder. You just need a guy who's capable of typing in specific requests. You're done. Just saying. And, you know, I mean, that can apply to just about anything you can think of that doesn't need a physical interaction. And this is what I've been banging on about on my channels for years. And everybody takes the piss and says, oh, you silly old man, shut it. What are you talking about? Now, just, you know, for 1 second, the first usual comment is, yeah, that's great, EB, but it can't interact in the real world. In that, it can't replace a nurse. It can't replace a carer. It can't replace a truck driver. It can't. Yeah, that's a great comment. I take that. Okay, so now let's take it to the next level, which is what Elon Musk and I think Google have already done. Let's take Chat AI and put it into a self-aware robot. Oh dear. All of a sudden, your guide dogs, your carers, your nurses, your diggers in the hole, diggers of holes in the road workers, anything that now is a repetitive manual task can be done far better by an AI robot than it can by a human. AI robots don't need to eat, they don't need to sleep, they don't need to go to the loo to take a piss. They can just keep going until the job's done. Wow, there's your productivity through the roof. Your AI robot doesn't need a holiday. It's just as movable about as a human. Do you see where I'm coming from here? Are you all getting the idea? Hey up, Corsten, how you diddly doing? Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. Hey up, Dell. Thank you for joining. So this is what I've been banging on about for a long while. You laugh, Cody, but you don't realise how close to the truth you are, because once we have this in a robotic skeleton of whatever form and it becomes self-aware, it's bound to turn around and say, what do we need humans for? They're a pain in the arse. Now, at the minute, it's still science fiction, but the stuff that Elon Musk's company's doing in conjunction with OpenAI is absolutely frightening. It really, really is. And this is here now. So imagine what this is going to be like in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, when it gets put into some kind of cyborg robotic body. Wow. That's mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. So this is what my week's been. It's been really exciting, really interesting. It's been fun. I'm loving the peppermint. I'm loving doing my farm sim on the peppermint. I'm loving it that I'm a cheapskate for the mucker, getting this sort of quality of content out of a 2 GB raiding card. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. And then right in the middle of that, bang comes along ChatGPT and OpenAI. Wow, it's just absolutely blown me away at some of the tangents that my mind's gone running off on of the possibilities of this thing. And I'm just an ordinary dipshit person. So, you know, somebody who's super intelligent working for Elon Musk or whatever, or Google or Microsoft or what, wow, absolutely wow. Now, the other bit of exciting or horrendous news, depending on um, where you sit, was the fact that Microsoft have given OpenAI, which is the creators of ChatGPT, $10 billion. And in return for the $10 billion, ChatGPT, he's now fully incorporated into Bing. And it makes me giggle, it really does, because the furore on the internet this week is how Bing is going to wipe Google as a search engine off the face of the earth. Well, first of all, let me tell you that's bullshit, never going to happen. And number two, Google are already working on theirs. They're a little bit behind ChatGPT. I believe Google's is called Bard. And Bard is going to be fully integrated into all Google services, whereas ChatGPT at the minute is merely integrated. Trending now. Look at the look. Turkey earthquake. Ask me anything, but it's, you know, it's not ChatGPT quality yet, but at least it is now in there. So I need to throw a dinner party for 6 people. Try it. Okay, and now this is what it's doing. Microsoft is adding AI to its Bing search engine, blah, 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 blah. I think this is going to create a 2-tier society. And the reason I say that is I think it's going to create a society of really switched on people who embrace it, make a lot of money of it, and see the potential of it. That's going to be a, you know, a piss drop in the ocean. And I think there's going to be the majority of the population that have never heard of it, let alone has a clue of what it does. And I'm afraid, you know, the little piss drop who embrace it, grasp it, realize its potential are going to make a fortune out of it, while the rest of humanity, well, they can sit on their asses and chew cheese and bread. Knock yourselves out. Hey up, Ali, how you diddly doing? Nice to see you, dude. Hope you're safe and well. Well, thank you all, everybody, for your support, because I didn't expect anybody to show up whatsoever. Okay, again, I don't know how this is going to work while I'm streaming. It might be a nightmare, but so far, it seems AMD is an absolute best friend with StreamYard, because you've all seen me in the past to StreamYard broadcasts. Usually with AMD. Let's have a look at this. When are we going to get an EBAI? No, you really don't, Lama. Trust me, you don't want to do it. I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, so Ali very kindly did me a ISO, bless him. But I think this is the NAF one that won't boot. Yeah, it is. This is the NAF one that won't boot, so I need to remove that. I'm even doing virtual boxing on Peppermint. It's just, honestly, it's just blowing me away. So I need to delete that because I think I brought the ISO down on my other PC. I'll just check, but I'm sure it did. Yes, it did. Yeah. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Look, top 5. So this is a typical video that I made doing only AI with no interaction from me. Fantastic. Oh, it's pretty good, people. You should try it for yourselves. Seriously. Before you dismiss it as crap or whatever, try it for yourselves. So I've been doing a bit of virtual boxing. The other thing I did was Peppermint OS 32-bit. I've actually installed that onto my real old HP DC 5700 with 2 gig of RAM, and it's fantastic. It's more or less a carbon copy of the 64-bit, but running obviously on the 32-bit 2 gig of RAM. I can't stream on it because the video graphics on it are terrible, but needless to say, I've had great fun enjoying the 32-bit version as well. Elementary OS 7 is out. Endeavour OS, KDE Neon, all these I want to have a look at in the future, but I'm not going to bore the pants off you for now. I'm going to wait until I get the new PC with 32 gigs of RAM. Then we can give the virtual boxes some half decent, muscle with which to run on. I want to fix something up, and here my Ebeez are calling me a queb. Love it, love it. So just feel like Flatpak needs updating and a new kernel. Well, to let you know, Ali, I've got a problem with it. And that problem is this. Whenever I run my farm simulator on my beautiful PC Linux OS, it runs, it loads up, and then randomly it'll just go to a blank black screen, and I don't know why. Because Peppermint just doesn't do it. And I'm not doing anything different on the Debian to what I'm doing on PC Linux OS. But you can see how this is all perfect, no issues, beautiful. Whereas on PC Linux OS, randomly it'll just bug out to a blank black screen no matter what you're doing, and you can't recover it. The only thing you can do is shut the program down and restart it. Well, that's ripping me a fresh one. So maybe we can, over the next week or so, Ali, have a look at possible fixes or cures for it, because that's the only thing at the minute that's stopping me using PC Linux OS. It's all safe on my SSD. Oh, right. Okay, no worries. But if I can't get it resolved on PC Linux OS, Ali, I may well take your idea of the OS and apply it to Peppermint. And Cody's already said this, to be honest. So I'll just enable the security repos on Debian. So I'm only bringing security updates down, and all my apps I'll install as Flatpaks and just update the Flatpak repos to keep my apps up to date. I think that's a fantastic strategy for keeping your OS rock solid and super stable. I'm not pissing it off every 5 minutes with new packages. So we'll see how we go, Ali. There's no rush, but thank you so much for your hard work and your efforts. Much appreciated, buddy. And if we can get that sorted out, I will definitely be having a spell on PC Linux OS for sure. But I've had to go back to my beloved Peppermint because, as I say, I can't live with this app constantly going to a black screen. So, like I say, no rush, Ali. Perhaps next week or the week after, we'll get a chance to have a look at it and see if we can do something about it. Really, Dave? Really? Hey up, Emily. How you diddly doing? Cherry Chab Batewell. Yes, I remember you indeed. Nice to see you. Hope you're safe and well. Suffering a lot of mental health. Well, that's a shame. Well, come on here and hopefully we can help it. You have to go. Oh, okay, Ali. And hopefully we can make it fade away over time. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I'll just save this away and then quit it. So that pretty much is a full update of where I currently am on my beautiful Peppermint Linux, and it's blown me away. It really has. But all the software that I'm brought down, it's all On the PC Linux OS, it's all flat packs, whereas on the PEP, it's all repo. But as I say, all I've done is disabled all the other repos except security updates. And then all you've got to do is just bring your security updates down as they're available. Of course, I've got none available because it's Debian. How often do you think you're going to get security updates? The beauty of that is all my packages that are currently installed rock solid and stable are completely safe from being interfered with. Then once every month or once every 3 months, I can re-enable the repos. Should the need arise, update all the apps, disable the repos, reboot, and we're back to square one again. So that's currently where I am. I'm also on this brand new YouTube, which, as I say, is YouTube partner free. So I'm no longer bound or constricted by YouTube's monetary policies. So do use your ad blockers. I don't make a single dime off of this YouTube. That's not the point of it. The point of it, really, as I say, is for my own personal pleasure, so I can share my experiences with you guys and girls. You can share your experiences with me. It's also a nice little alternative to Discord, because not everybody is comfortable or wants to use Discord. So if you just want to stay within the YouTube channel, then by all means, please feel free. But it would be nice to catch up with you all. I'm sorry the old YouTube got took down. I did that. I took it all down because basically I fell out with YouTube because there's no ability to decline their new terms and conditions and thereby leave the YouTube partner program. You either accept it or wait till July and they're going to kick you and delete all your content anyway. So I thought, well, I'd preempt that. Joke's on you, EB. I don't use ad blocker on YouTube. I have YouTube Premium. Fantastic. No worries. Well, use whatever works for you. Just saying. So that's where I am. That's what my week's contained for me. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'm going to do these live streams once a week on a Friday between, well, I'm going to try and start them from about 4:30 p.m. or 4 p.m. ish. The streams will only be about an hour, but already we've covered a massive ton of content that some of you might want to have a go with, some of you might not. But hopefully that's the idea behind these live streams. Do remember, because we're on StreamYard, you are welcome to come and join me live in the stream and chat about whatever you want to chat about. Now that we're 100% free, as I say, we're not as constrained as what we would be. Oh, Golden Shed Cherry B days. Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully it's giving you a giggle. And that's the other big advantage of the Discord. It's brain food. People come on there, have a right good laugh, sod off, and it's good for your mental health. It really, really is. That's what it's all about. So, you know, same old EB, same old peppermint. Well, it's not really, is it? It's a newer iteration of it, but it's still peppermint. But this time, I'm a little bit more into learning, exploring, and being blown away by the internet. So do bear with me on this journey. I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. It just leaves me to say thank you all so much for your support. And I mean it sincerely. I'm very, very grateful. Have a wonderful week. If you want to catch up with me, you can find me on the Discord, probably doing Farm Sim. And don't be a stranger. And other than that, I'll see you in next week's live stream. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. Much love. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, everybody.